Hi everyone and welcome to Season 3, Episode 3 of Reputation Rebuild at Aberdeen with me, the United City FM. Welcome along. So we get to the unenviable spot in the season where we kind of have to take points from Celtic today. We're sitting in third. We've got a bit of a gap between us and Celtic and Rangers. The whole point of this series is to see if we can get above at least one of them in the 3 seasons that we've got. And for that to happen today, we need those points, and Celtic have already beaten us 3-0 at our place this season. So this is going to be a tough one. Strap yourselves in and let's see how we get on. So in most other circumstances, this season would be suggested to be going pretty well, to be honest. We've had a really good run of form up until the most recent games, which were some friendlies that I put into the schedule for the January winter break. So it wasn't even in January, it was in December. Apologies for that. We're just at the end of December, so we had a bit of a break, so there were some friendlies in there, which didn't go particularly well, but I did rotate the side, just getting some match sharpness for some more players. So that was the issue there. But up until that point, our league form, etc., has been exceptional. The big problem that we've got is that Celtic and Rangers are always exceptional in this particular league, and they just don't drop points enough for us to get anywhere close to them. The only way we are going to get anywhere near them this season is if we're the ones to take the points from them. As I say, we haven't played Rangers yet, but we have played Celtic early in the season at home, and we got thumped 3-0. And today, we are away from home. So fingers crossed, everybody. But let's go and check out all those recent fixtures, because there have been some good results in there. So these are the games that I've played since you and I were together last, right back at Hamilton for the second episode of this particular season. You see, I've got a lot of games under my belt up until this point here against Gothenburg in the Euro Cup. We sailed through the Euro Cup in the end. I think it was with Marseille. Let's go and check in. You'll see that we finished top of the group on 15 points. Goal difference was the same. Eventually, we came out on top of that, which is very good, but ultimately, the other two in the group, Apoel and Gothenburg, didn't cause a problem at all, and it was very, very comfortable. So, in the end, we go through. That's all great. We'll come back to that later in the season when we've been drawn. We haven't been drawn against anybody yet, so we'll figure out when that comes round as to how difficult that's actually going to be, but that's not till later on in March. So quite a late start up again for that particular competition. But as I say, we'll figure that later in the season. So that's fine. We've got on the horizon a semi-final in the Betfred Cup against Kilmarnock, and Rangers and Celtic, I think, play each other in the other semi-final. So one of those is going to be in the final against us. Another chance to raise a trophy. That would be good if we could do that. And we've got a 4th round tie in the Scottish Cup that hasn't been drawn yet in January as well. So lots of cup competitions around the place still to do. But at this point, we refocus back on the Scottish Premiership. And you can see that all the way back to the Hamilton game here, we've pretty much not dropped a point other than one match against Kilmarnock where we got a draw. It was just one of those days where it didn't quite work for us. Other than that, we've beaten everybody. We've looked good doing it. We've kept a few clean sheets. A few of our strikers are getting goals. You can see all the way through here. Delap and Nisbet specifically getting on the score sheet, but Lawrence Shanklin did as well. So all of that's going pretty well. It's just about, can we take the points away from the big two? Here's our chance. Let's see what happens. So the recent friendly fixtures have meant that we've been able to rotate the side around and get enough people fit. There are a couple of issues, and they're in our fullback area, both right and left. Hernandez and Heiser are both just below par. So we're resting Heiser to give Ramsey a run out. He's been very good against the lesser sides in the division when we've played him this season. So we're going to play him today. Going to keep Heiser in though. Don't really want to change both of them. The only other issue that we've got is, remember, we've got Middleton from Rangers last season, and we had a bit of an issue where he was he was unavailable when we played Rangers. We've got the same issue this season with Johnston. Ineligible to play today as a left wing rotating option because he comes from Celtic. And so we're fortunate now that because we've got better depth in the squad, at least Middleton's around now when Johnston can't be. So it's not too bad, but that's the only other issue. Everybody else is fit. Everybody else is willing and ready to play. So for today's match, a big match away from home against Celtic, we've got Lewis in goal, Ramsey at right back, Heiser at left back, Kerr and Finlay in central defence, Gruick, McCrory and Bate in central midfield, Elliott on the right, Middleton on the left, and Delap up top with a bench of Lonwick, Hernandez, Demir, Ferguson, Campbell, McLennan and Nisbet. So let's get into today's game and see what happens. So there's no real point in denying our underdog status in this particular match. We definitely are. So we're going to embrace it. And so we've pumped the fists and we've said we're the underdogs here. And that suits us down to the ground. Let's cause an upset and put that into the players' heads that we've got to go out and actually perform above ourselves today. Away from home, tricky game. I don't think I'm expecting much, but that's always fantastic when something shows up that's unexpected. So we'll see how we get on. Excuse me. And it's down the right-hand side that we get an early chance ourselves. Elliott gets to the edge of the box, drops it back. McCrory keeps the ball for us. And Ramsey's there for an additional player. And we move the ball nicely into the box. And if there's no offside there, we have got an early goal at 2.5 minutes in. Brilliant play off that right-hand side. We kept the ball really fantastically well. Dropped it back into midfield in the end. Bate on the ball at the very top of the box. Found a brilliant pass through for Middleton. The defence had pushed up and he was held onside by that one central point in their defence. And he puts the ball in the back of the net before Celtic could even get going. And that gives us something to fight for in this first half specifically. But Celtic come right back at us very quickly. Have a couple of shots at goal that are blocked. And then they find a way to keep the ball in that midfield area. Work the ball very nicely. And then a very weak shot. And the goalkeeper draws it in. We're going to go back into balanced from our positive starting position and just see if we can find a way to suppress the game a little bit. It's kind of important to try and do that as much as possible. Long goal kick from us gives it straight back to them, unfortunately. And they get another chance down that left-hand side. And again, the goalkeeper has to parry it, this time away for a corner kick. So the pressure is beginning to show already, and the pressure has told already. 11 minutes in, a corner kick came in, and the header was decent enough to put it into that danger area. It beat our goalkeeper, all ends up, and they do go 1-1 after 11 minutes. That's very disappointing. Good initial header on from Davies at the front post, and the back post player eventually puts a second header into the back of the net, where the goalkeeper basically wasn't anywhere near it. So, unfortunately, we found ourselves back level, but we've proved that we can breach them. We've had a couple of shots at goal, only 2. They've had 7, so you can see where the pressure is coming from. But so far, it's not going badly. We just need to find a way to just keep the ball a little bit and get ourselves back in this game. But Celtic are going to come again. And they've, fortunately for us, put a fairly rubbish ball in, really, for a free kick. And it was cleared. But again, we don't win those loose balls in midfield. Happens all over my FM21 experience, that one. And those are the results of it. Sometimes they have really great shots. That one went crashing off the crossbar and we got it clear. But it's one of my pet peeves, personally, is that the AI always seems to win those balls in midfield. And it doesn't matter how you change up your side, they always seem to somehow. Those no man's land type balls seem to pretty much always go to the opposition. We're coming up to half time. We are at 1-1, which to all intents and purposes is a fantastic result so far. Just a little bit disappointing that we couldn't keep that lead a little bit longer into that first half and gain a bit of momentum from it. The question now, of course, is how do we keep this performance going and actually take something out of this game when Celtic have been quite dominant? So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go into the tactics page first. We are going to make a couple of little changes here. And the first change that we're going to do is we're going to take McCrory, if we open up the page, and we're going to switch this round a little bit. We are going to play a two-man defensive midfield line, move Bate into the centre a little bit more and play that way. We're going to also counter-attack on the fluid counter-attack and just see if we can soak up a little bit of pressure slightly better than we did in the first half, because they did have the chances, and counter-attack on them quicker down these flanks, as it were, to see if we can get a couple of chances. It's just a little change, but ultimately I think we needed to make one to just try and find a way to play slightly differently. So we're going to use McCrory as the encroaching ball winner. So he's going to go and find the ball, and we're going to sit Gruick, should I say, in the anchorman role, I think, and just make him sit there and wait and support the defensive line and see how that works. And Bate can still get involved in the attacking play with the wing backs bombing on. So those are the changes we're going to make. I'm also, not because he's done anything wrong, but I want an attacking wide fullback now. So I'm going to put Hernandez back in for the second half, because he'll play in that more attacking role and get support for the front guys. So those are the changes. We'll see how that works. So it's kind of all or nothing really at this point. We're going to go in. We're going to, let's go with hands together. We're not doing badly. I can't tell them we're going to win, so we can't use that one. Unlucky, things just haven't quite gone right for us so far. I think that's fair. We've done okay, but it just keeps them again thinking that we can do this, and as soon as we go in the shouts, we're going to demand more from them. And there we go into the second half. So a little bit of a change. Can we get a better grip on the game and stop their attacks a little bit better? Of course, these are the issues, the set pieces for us, and the answer very simply is no, we can't. 52 minutes in, first highlight of the second half. It comes from a corner kick, unfortunately. Those set pieces have done us in a little bit. And it's unfortunate there's a bit of a goalkeeping error as well. The original header went straight at him, and he fumbled it through his hands a little bit, changed the direction of the ball slightly, but not enough. And it goes in the back of the net. And now we've got a bit of a problem, really, because they're coming back at us again with another corner kick. This time we do counter-attack on them. Middleton with the ball, chance to run from penalty box to penalty box, just about makes it to theirs, and then kind of very half-heartedly gives it away a little bit, really. But we're fortunate to get it back. Heiser picks it up in the fullback position. McCrory takes over. Chance to feed the ball through our midfield area, get it into Bate, who can find a forward pass for us. There's a forward pass and another one. And it's Delap who was through on goal, and then Middleton with a follow-up shot as well. And both were very well blocked, and both were very well dealt with by Celtic in the end. But again, we breached the lines. Can we do it often enough just to find something out of this game now? 72 minutes in, we're going to have to make another change. We've obviously made a switch around already and a substitution, so we're going to have to change again. So we got Elliott, who is one of our better players this season, having an atrocious game at 6.2 average rating. So immediately, unfortunately, he's going to have to come out. And we've got McLennan on the bench, so he'll come in for him. But that's really disappointing. And it's one reason why we're never going to get these points off the big guys, is if our big players don't show up in those matches. And today, he hasn't, unfortunately. Very, very disappointing on that front, but there we go. Not much we can do about that. So the other thing that we're going to do now is we're going to actually take McCrory out because he's got a yellow card, and we're going to reshape the side again because we're going to bring Nisbet on and he's going to go and play up top with Delap. So if we put those two up top and then we put Gruick back in the midfield line, and we're going to play the 4-4-2, and now we're going to play the wing play, get those crosses in for the two front guys. So that's how we're going to play for the last little bit, and instead of balanced, we're going very attacking because we've got absolutely nothing to lose. We're already losing. So that's what we're going to do for the last 15 minutes of the game. We're going to go into the shouts and fire them up for it as well. And of course, Celtic are going to have their chances because they've had chances all the way through the game. Can we defend well enough to get blocks in and counter-attack? And again, the answer is no, but this time it's a disallowed goal for offside. So we're a little bit fortunate. Maybe that's the bit of fortune that we need, but they were quite a way offside, really. So I'm not so unhappy about that. That's good defensive play. Can we get a couple of chances, though, in the last 10 minutes of the match? Here we go, into the 80th minute, 10 minutes to go, and it's ticking by really, really quickly. 85 minutes already, nothing happening until a Celtic corner. Again, the attacking player for Celtic got the run on the ball and the header at the goal, but it did go over. Now we get a goal kick, and we've given it straight to Celtic, where there was absolutely no Aberdeen players. The goalie put it into a really bad area and gave them another chance to have a go at our goal. If fortunately, again, they put it over the top, but that's really poor distribution from Lewis in goal, and it looks like we're going to have another loss against Celtic. A closer game, a harder fought game, but this time again, we do not pick up any points, and that is going to be the problem for this season moving forward. We have to find a way to take some points off of Celtic or Rangers or both. And so far, it's really not happening. As you'd imagine at the moment, being slightly disappointed by the result, I'm not taking a great deal of solace from the fact that our third place spot is pretty much sorted at this point anyway. We've got 2 or 3 games in hand over the 2 teams below us, directly below us, and we've already got, a 3-point gap. So if we can win those couple of games in hand, we're well clear. So we've got it in our own hands there. But the big problem now, of course, is that with Celtic ahead of us by a total of 9 points and a game in hand on us, that potentially puts them 12 points clear. And Rangers currently are 13 points clear, but they have played 2 games extra than us. So we could reel Rangers in a little bit if we really got going, but we're going to have to take points away from them. And so far, other than in Season 2, where we took a couple of points here and there off Celtic in a couple of draws, we've never done it against Rangers at all. And this season, Celtic have already beaten us twice. So I have a fear that this particular series is going to fade into obscurity a little bit, and we're just going to sit in third position again. But we're going to have to carry on. We're going to keep going, doing what we're doing, which is beating the lesser sides in the division, keeping ourselves in the equation, and then late in the season, we are going to have to take these points off these big 2 to get anywhere near them. So that's unfortunately where we find ourselves, which was kind of always predicted, really, I would suggest. And unfortunately, a 10-match winning streak, or not losing streak, should I say, in the Scottish Premier League has come to an end off the back of some, unfortunately, fairly dull and bad friendly matches, which took the momentum from us. If you take those friendly matches out of the equation and you just squeeze the league up and continue playing, maybe we would have stood a chance, maybe, but not on this occasion. And guess what? Next episode, we get the other one. We get Rangers to play. In the middle of January, we're coming back to see if we can take any points off the mighty Rangers. It's not going to get any easier, is it really? But that's what's coming up. So I hope you'll join me for that. We'll also be halfway through the January window. Let's just go out and check our finances to see where we're at for the January window. And you can see that we've got basically nothing. We've got very limited wage budget. We've got absolutely no transfer budget. 10 million in the bank overall. but we can't really do much with it. So it's unlikely that we'll be doing anything in the January transfer window unless one of our players is sold. And at the moment, I don't really see that happening. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But come and join me for the middle of January. We'll play that Rangers game. I'll update you on all of the transfer stuff that may or may not be happening. But until then, don't forget that I'm now on twitch.tv/The United City every weekday afternoon from 3 till 5 p.m. Come and drop by there. We're doing an AC Milan series, which we're in the second season of. So it'd be great to see you over there. But until next time here, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and join my United City community. The more the merrier. Click that like button on this particular episode. That'll help me get seen by lots more people and helps the YouTube algorithms. Until next time though, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.